On today's video, I'm going to talk about 4 very interesting facts and insights about living in Mississauga that honestly nobody puts on an MLS listing description. These things can really impact your lifestyle and how much you actually love living here if you're planning to relocate to Mississauga or if you're already here and you're thinking about moving. Some of these things will really surprise you because not many people talk about it, and one of them is really going to make you seriously hungry. All right, before we get started, if you haven't already grabbed my free Mississauga relocation guide yet, go ahead and do that now. The link is right here below the video. It has everything you need to know about moving and living in Mississauga. And also, feel free to call or text me on my number here. I would love to connect with you and chat about your specific situation. All right, point number 1, and this is one of those things that buyers don't even think to ask about until they're standing in a backyard on a Sunday afternoon and then a loud airplane goes directly over their head. So airport noise in Mississauga is highly targeted. It's not just about being near the Toronto Pearson Airport, it's about the specific flight path. And those paths are very precise. I've literally walked through backyards in Meadowvale Village and it's super quiet, it's dead quiet, it's beautiful. And then all of a sudden, 3 streets over, and you hear the airplane every 15 minutes flying during the busy flight times. And if you're somebody who loves to spend your afternoons and a lot of time in the backyard and you don't like the airplane noise overhead, you want to make sure that you know which areas you're looking at before you buy your new home. So you can see here, I'm going to share with you the flight corridor path that you can find on the Toronto Pearson Airport website. There is also the web track that you can use. From my experience as a homeowner and a local realtor, there are 2 major flight paths to be aware of along the Dairy Road right here on the north side and also Britannia Road on the south side. So these purple areas that are on the map, you can easily use the airport web track as well to see the live feed, or you can just Google the Pearson flight map in Mississauga. Now, the flight paths, they generally track from west to east as planes line up for their final, landing into Pearson. So the noise impact is very directional, and it does shift depending on the wind direction and which runways are active. So some of the neighborhoods just north of Dairy, they barely notice it at all. And then other neighborhoods closer to the approach corridors, they hear it constantly throughout the day. I know many of my clients, they live near the Britannia and, from Streetsville to East Credit and here, Ontario. And if you're very close to Britannia Road, almost every day at certain times of the day, you're going to hear the airplanes pretty frequently, especially during the morning time and also in the late afternoons. I've noticed that a lot. Now, here's what I do with every single buyer that I work with. Before we book any showing on the west end of the city, we always map out the property and against the known flight corridors, just like I'm showing you here. So we talk about it, we discuss it. If a client really values peace and quiet in their backyard, and they definitely do not want this type of noise and it's a deal breaker, then we would filter that into our search before we even go out to see the houses. This is one of those invisible factors that absolutely changes your daily happiness. And it's 100% avoidable if you know to look for it ahead of time. Okay, point number 2, and this is me standing right here at the corner of Huron, Ontario and Eglinton in the city center because I want you to see this. This construction right behind me, that was 2 years ago. And then now, just last month, I was there in front of the new station right at Huron, Ontario and Eglinton in the heart of Mississauga. So what's LRT? Light Rail Transit. This is also called now the Hazel McCallion Line. It's officially named after our legendary former mayor. It's going to change the city in a way that most buyers are not factoring into their purchase decisions right now. And that is a missed opportunity I want to talk about. So here's what you need to know. This is an 18-kilometer light rail line running the full length of Huron, Ontario Street. It's going to bring people from Brampton's Gateway Terminal off of Steeles all the way down to Port Credit GO Station in the south. It's going to have 19 stops, and it's going to directly connect people to the GO Transit line in Milton Line as well as the Lakeshore West lines. So it's going to connect to the Mississauga My Way and the Brampton Transit. It's really cool. If you live near and off of Huron, Ontario Street, you can just hop on and hop off. And if you live near the city center Square One, for example, you really don't need a car. There's going to be at least 2 to 3 stations walking distance, and you can get to Port Credit and then switch over to the GO train station and take the GO train straight to Union Station in Toronto, and that's about 20 minutes commute. Super convenient for people who are commuting to work downtown, and you can totally avoid the traffic congestion that's happening in the city, right? It's been delayed though. Construction started back in 2020, was originally slated for 2024, and then earlier this year, now we're expecting this to be completed maybe in 2028. So I know that the construction has been really frustrating for so many businesses and residents, living along the corridor. I hear it all the time, myself included. I'm always there, but we're getting used to it. And also, we're seeing the construction come to life. And also, we're used to taking the alternate streets. But here's the thing about real estate strategy: we're still in the before window. This LRT line is not open yet. And that means the full price premium that comes with the LRT access, the kind of equity bump that we saw happen in other areas around transit in Toronto, this has not fully landed yet here in Mississauga. So in the next couple of decades, about a quarter of the city's employment and residents are projected to be concentrated along this corridor. And that's massive long-term demand. So if you buy nearby or along the corridor right now, before this LRT opens, you're positioning well ahead of that wave. And this is not speculation. This is how true transit-oriented development works. And we've seen it in many other cities and city after city. This is the growth story of Mississauga for the next decade. And right now, I'm already seeing at least 6 to 8 new built high-rise condos at this intersection. And there's going to be a lot more to develop. And with the HST rebate that came into effect just last week, where you can save up to $130,000 in taxes when you buy new construction, there are a lot of opportunities that you can still get in early, and especially in the market that we're in right now, where home prices have come down 20 to 30% from the peak market. Definitely, there are a lot of opportunities here for all buyers, actually. Okay, point number 3, and this one is pure strategy, and it saves my clients a lot of money. So people get very attached to specific neighborhood names. Like I see it all the time. Oh, we have to be in Streetsville. And I get it. Streetsville is wonderful. The village, the Credit River Trail, the community events, it's generally very special. But here's what most buyers don't know. And I'm going to show you on the map here. So if you just look at Streetsville and what's surrounding Streetsville, so if you just cross one major road into, let's say, Meadowvale, we're talking sometimes just 5 minutes away. And you can often find a larger house, bigger lot, a newer kitchen, or more square footage for $100,000 or even $150,000 less. You could be in the same school board, similar parks, very similar quality of life. But just because it's outside of that premium attached to the Streetsville's name, I call this the village pricing gap. And it exists all over Mississauga, not just here. There's Clarkson versus Lorne Park, City Center versus Cooksville. The difference in price between being in a premium village or being in the neighbor right next to it can be significant. And for a lot of families, that difference can help pay for a kitchen renovation or a finished basement or years of mortgage payments. Now, I'm not saying the premium neighborhoods aren't worth it. Sometimes they absolutely are, especially when school catchment or walkability are a priority. But a smart buyer knows where the lines are drawn, and sometimes being the neighbor to the village is the most financially intelligent thing that you can do. So I'm going to show you on the map here. This is Streetsville. You see that's for a condo townhouse over $1 million. Here's another one here in Streetsville, and look at that. Detached for 1.3. And if you just skip over to where Meadowvale is, and all of a sudden, boom, you can find a detached for under 900,000. Okay, so this is the difference that I wanted to talk about in terms of the village gap from one neighborhood to another. This is exactly the kind of conversation that we have during strategy sessions. So before you start falling in love with homes that you find online, we definitely would want to talk about, the premium value that you're paying in the specific neighborhoods. Okay, number 4, my personal favorite point to make because I never get tired of this one. The food scene in Mississauga is genuinely world class. And people who haven't lived here, they have absolutely no idea. Mississauga is one of the most multicultural cities in the world. And that diversity really shows up in the wide selection of amazing restaurants in the most incredible way. I have clients who have moved out of here to Oakville or Burlington, and they have to come back to Mississauga every weekend just for the food and groceries and the local restaurants. And they really miss that. And they can't find that elsewhere. So we've got like the best Vietnamese pho restaurant in so many different pockets of Mississauga. We've got the authentic dim sum that rivals anything in Hong Kong. And I'm Chinese, born in Vietnam, so you can take it from me. So I want to show you right now on the map some of the amazing restaurants. So this one here, Magic Barbecue on Mavis and Eglinton. It used to be called Sam Wu. My family's been going here for over 2 decades, and the barbecue meats takeout is incredible. When you don't have time to cook, it's awesome. And of course, the weekend dim sum is always packed, full of people. It's been around for like decades. And then you've also got incredible Middle Eastern restaurants like this one here, Istanbul Kebab House. So the location in Mississauga is always full, amazing foods. And then recently, I've actually discovered Lazar, famous Portuguese deli and bakery. It is like 5 minutes from Square One. I come here with my clients all the time now for coffee, pastries. It's very lively. You feel like you're actually in Portugal or in Europe. You can have a full meal or just coffee, tea, and a pastry. And I love Mediterranean food. So Greek food, oh my goodness, this is a jam, guys. I just discovered this recently. It's called Lazarus Greek. It is, I'll show it to you. It is in the very quiet neighborhood in Meadowvale, in a very quiet street next to a park, and it's in a small little plaza. And it's unbelievable. The food was incredible. It's a small little place, but the takeout was nonstop. People were coming in, dropping in to pick up food. And when I tasted the food, I was like, wow. So they have rave reviews, and it's just incredible. So that is Lazarus. And of course, I have to talk about Ridgeway Plaza. That's in Churchill Meadows. And there's more than 70 restaurants right here from so many different countries. Okay. And this has actually become a very popular hub now. On the weekends, it is so crowded, so busy. And then during religious holidays and festivities and festivals, oh my goodness, it is fully packed. So it has all restaurants in here. And yeah, it's actually incredible. It's in Churchill Meadows. So it is actually a bit of an issue for some of the residents that live in this neighborhood. But honestly, it's got a huge selection. And honestly, I've personally traveled to so many countries, and I just love the diversity in Mississauga. This is one of the things I love the most. The restaurants are incredible. And you get all of this without the Toronto parking situation, without the Toronto congestion in traffic, and of course, without the Toronto prices. So many of my clients I help to relocate here, whether they're coming from downtown Toronto or from another country. The food scene is one of those things that makes them go like, wow, this is amazing. It is a lifestyle upgrade that genuinely surprises people. You can find foods from practically every single country in the world right here in Mississauga. And you can try something new every week for the whole year. So there you go. I hope that you find it super helpful, these interesting insights that I share with you on this video. The airport noise corridors that you need to know about before you buy a home, the LRT opportunity with many new builds that's along the Hurontario corridor, the village pricing gap that could save you lots of money when you buy a home, and the food scene. Honestly, that makes me so hungry right now. And I would love it if you share with me your favorite restaurants yourself and just put it on the comment below. I would love to go and try it out. And before you make your move here in Mississauga, go grab my relocation guide in the link below. And if you're ready to start planning your strategy for your specific move, whether you're coming into the city or you're already here and you just want to move within Mississauga, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. My contact information is right here in the description. I'm Maria Ho, and thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you on the next one.